Moses, you comfortable talking about money?
Yes, I am.
You got a lot of money? So are you a student who's just finishing school and you're trying to figure out, how am I going to live my best life after paying all that money for tuition for all those years? Don't worry, we have the answer for you. But before we get into that, I need you to do a few things. Liking this video, make sure to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also share the video as well. So you live in this expensive city or anywhere in this country for that matter, it's all expensive. And you're embarking on your journey after school and you're trying to figure out, how am I gonna live my best life? Don't worry, we're gonna make it all make sense. You like that one? What do you wish you knew more about financially before moving away from home?
I kind of just wish I knew more about like effective budgeting, I guess.
How much rent would cost. Oh, it hurts.
Personally, for me, I'm actually lucky enough to still be at home so I'm not actually on residence right now. But I would say something that I did wish I knew before going into university was just like how much everything was actually going to cost. Because I know they say, stuff's expensive, but they never tell you how expensive everything is.
I kind of had to do it almost kind of on my own, or like kind of go and look for my own resources, because I feel like they don't teach you directly in school, I guess. But
Hashtag adulting.
yeah, no, definitely.
And then too, I guess financially, how to invest a little bit better.
Trying to find all the shortcuts that you can take to kind of just kind of penny pinch almost, because like in university you are spending a lot.
Reality hit you like a bag of bricks.
Yeah, it hit me like a bag of bricks. Just bag of bricks.
Jermaine is back. Give me some smiles. Hit him with the smiles. Well, we were out on the streets and we were talking with a lot of students who are looking into their afterlife after school and they want to live their best lives, but they need some help.
Yeah.
And you're the guy. Talk to me, because one of the first things that we asked, these young people, and they wanted to know, like, what advice should they know before they move out?
Yeah, so if I'm thinking is three key things. Get your budgeting in place, get your banking set up, and building credit. So with your budgeting, you're trying to figure out, what's my income going to be? Like, how much money am I going to be receiving from whatever source, loans, parents, support, etc. And then what are my expenses, right? Try to keep those expenses below your income so that you have a bit of room for savings, right? Then you need to figure out your banking. What accounts am I going to use? Do I need a checking account and a savings account? Will I set up a pre-authorized transfer to send the money I'm saving each month? Just figure out what that structure is going to look like. And then the third, I think, which is very important, is start building your credit. Get a product in your own name. It could be as simple as using your cell phone, right? Put that in your own name. You start building up some history of repayment for yourself. In the long run, that will really help out a lot.
Do you know what a credit score is?
Yeah, it's how your credit, I guess, puts a number on your spending and how well you pay back money.
Like when you want to buy a house, when you want to take out loans, they look at, banks look at your credit score to be able to see if you're fit to be able to be loaned money in as well.
I would say it is kind of a score that you get based off your how reliable you are in terms of paying back a loan to a bank. So the higher your credit score, the more reliable you are to pay back your dues to the bank, meaning that the bank will be willing to give you more money because they know that you're more likely to pay it off.
Look at that education being put to work.
I might as well go to UFT for no reason.
Are you aware of how your credit history can impact you in the near or long-term future?
Yeah, when it comes to asking for a mortgage, even renting, they want to look at your credit score. Anything where you need to borrow money from banks, they look at it. So that is, I guess, near and far.
Do you got a good credit score?
Hopefully. I haven't looked at it recently on purpose, so.
So we were on the streets, we were talking to a lot of students, and you know what was good? Most of them knew what a credit score was.
Good. That's good. I'm happy to
Okay,
hear
so I
that.
was like, all right, thumbs up, A+. Education is educationing.
Huge.
But for some people still don't know. So
Yeah.
just again for the folks who don't exactly know what a credit score is,
Okay,
break
so
it down for us.
Really simply, the credit score is a numerical rating system that tells you how well you've been handling your credit products. These are products where you're lending. And it also tells lenders how risky you are to lend to. So generally, the scale will range from 300 to 900, that score. And then they'll give you a word grade as well, which is either poor, fair, good, very good, or excellent. Now, your credit score is derived from your credit report. And that's just a summary of all the credit products that you have. So if you got a line of credit, even your phone bill, it'll tell you, have you been paying that on time? Have you been 30, 60, 90 days late? That type of thing. So that report gives you all the details.
But this is why paying your bills on time is so important.
Incredible.
Because a lot of students, they head on campus, you know, they get the first credit card, but some of them don't, you know, they forget, they think it's like a bank card, like you don't have to pay it back.
That was literally me. $500 is the limit.
And you maxed that, eh?
I maxed that on a pair of Jordans.
Jeez.
I got
It really be like that.
I got a tracksuit and a fitted hat. That 500 was done, right? You know, had I understood like the benefit of paying off your balance, like at the end of each month, how that helps your score to increase, I'd have probably managed it differently. That would actually help show that you've been paying back the credit. You've been using it and paying it back responsibly.
So how are you currently feeling about your finances right now?
I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. I've been working throughout the whole summer, kind of help pay for my tuition and also like other expenses. And I do feel like I also have other things in place to kind of set me up for the future, not just thinking about just staying into like a 9 to 5 job or whatnot, but also looking to venture into other aspects of my life and using my talents and my abilities to kind of reach out to make more money.
I just got back to school at York, so it's not as great as when I had a full-time job, but it's a thing right now.
How are you feeling about your financial future?
I mean, obviously, I just like coming out of like as a student. I'm just getting into more of the real world, so just trying to get a good job, kind of get settled. Obviously, it's tough, but I think I'm kind of ready for it.
When you are responsible and you got that good credit score, like how can that impact somebody in the near future and the long-term future?
So a lot of it comes down to future lending, like the rates you're gonna look at. So
Like when you're ready to buy a house or something.
Right.
And then let's talk about like, you know, the long-term future plans, like continuing to be responsible outside of school once you start that, you know, adulting. Journey.
So when you get to that adulting piece now you might need a line of credit to, you know, say you get into your first apartment, you want to furnish it. Maybe you want to, you know, go get a small line of credit, but you've never had any credit products before. They're going to say, we're not prepared to lend to you yet because you don't have enough history. But if I started my first or second year and I'm building up history, they'll be able to say, okay, we've seen over 4 or 5 years that you've been very responsible in how you manage credit.
It's really like a trust thing. It's like rating that I can trust you, I can trust you.
Literally.
And you know what? We even heard from some students, they were saying like landlords, right? They're looking for rental properties. Landlords are also now asking for your credit score. So it's like, hey, you want a good place to live, you want to secure a place, you got to show that you're responsible, you're going to pay your rent on time.
And with rent so high, like it's risky even for the landlord to be renting to someone if they feel like, you know, you don't have that. So they want to see up front, what's your credit history? And if not, they're asking you for a co-signer, someone who has good credit history.
So if you don't have it in your family,
you're in trouble.
And we trying to get you out of trouble over here.
So we're trying to prevent the trouble. Build your credit.
What's the biggest question you have left remaining when it comes to finances?
I would just say like ways to grow finance in terms of like, you know, and getting more assets, like investing in stocks and whatnot, and just kind of things of that realm where you're able to make quote unquote passive income, where obviously nothing is really passive, but that's what they label it as. I think I kind of want to just know more about that.
I guess my biggest question is how to kind of, or like passively make money, I guess. Like, you know, and I've just been trying to get into investing and stuff. So like, I have a lot of questions about that. I just kind of effectively do that while also like putting away money and then also having it, like, you know, just getting like greater value as time goes on.
As a student, how to get rich. How do you be a student full-time and then work, but then live downtown and all that?
So, you know, one of the big things that we kept hearing on the street was students wanted to know how can they create passive income. First off, what is passive income? And then secondly, what are some tips to create that?
Good. So for passive income, it's essentially any kind of earning that you didn't have to go out and physically go and generate. Right?
So like, could that be like, let's say you put a bit of money into like a mutual fund, for example?
So that's a perfect example. So when you have your savings, that savings, you want to take that savings and actually invest that to start generating what we refer to as passive income. Because now if I take the savings, let's say if it's like $200 for the month and I put that into an investment, whether it's a mutual fund or let's say an ETF or some type of investment, what's being earned on that is income, but it's income I didn't have to give my time. So if I'm a student, I'm in school and I'm busy studying, I still have my money doing the work for me.
And that's what they call it, passive.
Passive. It's happening, so whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm at school, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, my money's doing work.
And if people want to get in on that, because I'm sure people are going to be watching me like, yeah, that's what I want to happen for me. Hopefully everybody everybody's feeling that.
I hope so.
Yeah. Like, where do they go to get that conversation started?
So, I mean, the best way to approach it is to, I would say, connect with an advisor. So at TD, we've got our personal bankers. We also have financial planners for people who like to work with an advisor. If you're a do-it-yourself type of person, then you know what, we have TD Direct Investing, online brokerage. You can go in, set that up online. And then once you've got that going, you can now start putting your money in. You can do your research. Great sites that allow you to look up like pretty much every investment that's on the market. Or visit us at a branch, call us through TD's line.
Yeah, you just got to make that first step.
You just got to make the first step, and we'll work with you to figure out what suits you, and we'll make it happen.
Where did you learn most of your financial knowledge from?
I mean, just like bits and pieces here and there. Like my dad, obviously, my parents.
To your dad.
Yeah, no, he works in like accounting, like his auditor. Yeah. So I get some of my information from him.
Personally, I did it from a lot from my family members. My uncle,
family members
they got big ups, you know. And I said, you know, my uncle, he also works at a bank, so he's been telling me a lot of info. Also, my brother, you know, he's like a good amount of years older than me, so you know, I watch all of his mistakes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So you know, save myself a lot of money and whatnot. So, and also, like, honestly, social media, you know, the TikTok, don't sleep. TikTok, just search it up.
This is where we at. This is where we at.
How to save money, you know.
The longer you live, obviously, you're dealing with different financial experiences, and you learn through that. And then just having, like, I live with a partner, so me and him have a lot of conversations about how to invest for the future.
I kind of asked everybody when I was talking to them on the streets, like, where did you guys learn, like, you know, your financial knowledge from? And then a lot of people were shouting out, like, their dad, their uncle. Some people were like, you know, I just had to go through experience. Yeah. Megan, girl, I understand you. So who do you want to shout out?
So I'm kind of the latter. It was just a lot of on-the-job learning.
So you're shouting out me, yourself.
Shout outs to me for making the mistakes and learning from them, for poor decisions that I learned from and built on. Yeah. But then there's a certain point. I mean, from when I was a young man, as young as like I think 10, I was doing like a paper route. And just delivering, and my parents would show me just how to budget. Like, okay, you know, you made $50, save a little bit. Okay, here's your $5 to go spend it somewhere. So that budgeting piece I had gotten from my parents, but the whole investment part, understanding the markets, that I learned sort of in my career really when I got to TD. I think for learning, like in this day and age, there's so much information. You can kind of get bombarded. So if you're looking for financial knowledge and you don't have it, start with some sort of professional institution. So for example, I mentioned TD.com. You can go online and read about products. Even before you speak to someone, if you don't want to talk to someone right away, go online, read from a reputable source, reputable site. I know there's tons of like TikToks and you know, the IG gurus are out there giving all kind of investment knowledge, but we recommend going to a professional, reading from professional sources, and then if you have questions, you come in and you talk to us, and we can, you know, explain further.
And I think the most important thing also, just to remind people, is that like going to the website, booking a time with the conversation. It's free.
It's all free. There's no cost. It's easy.
And we all love free.
Yeah. We certainly do.
I'm just telling y'all. Jermaine, thank you so much. Making everybody live their best lives.
I hope so, man. Hopefully we'll be all bad and bougie later.
Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Brandon Gona Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.